Alaska is doubling down on winter this year. After a couple weeks of warmer weather, we're about to plummet into sub-zero temperatures. The forecast is calling for snow and high winds, so it's time that we head into town and stock up on supplies. We need to get food, we need to get fuel, and as long as we're in town getting supplies, we're gonna get some stuff we need for our construction project. Come with us as we stock up and prepare for the oncoming cold winter weather. Going into town for a supply run is a big ordeal, so we like to get an early start, which means this time of year, getting started in the dark, getting everybody packed up and ready to go. This morning, we are headed off the homestead, off for an adventure. We need to do a supply run. Snow coming, freezing cold temps. We gotta make sure we're stocked up. All right, everybody ready?
Yeah.
First off, coffee, but that's just for me.
Same place we went.
Did you like that place?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. That's what I was thinking.
Last time, it's not.
No, it was pretty good size.
Mooses are so weird. Hey, Moosey.
Last time we made this drive, we were with the kids' grandpa, and he was visiting. I think we counted 14 moose. So what do you guys say? If we beat 14 moose, we go for ice cream.
Yeah.
If we can get 15 moose today, we get ice cream. Sound good? So we got 2 mooses so far. Let's see if we can beat 15. Let's start the moose counter clock. If we get 20 moose, we get a large.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Maybe a bonus topping. Morning. Can I get a 16-ounce latte? And you guys want a cookie?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Jealous. Thank you. You too. Those look good. Here you go, cookie. Okay. All right, everybody ready? First stop, breakfast? No, it was pretty good size. I thought it was going to be too small, but it definitely wasn't. How many? Moose? 4? But how many did you see there? You saw 2?
Oh.
Okay, anybody else see 2? So that puts us at 4 moose?
Yeah.
All right, good. We got the counter. This is good moose country out here. Look in there. There's always moose in there. It was especially cold this morning, -8, and even just our breath inside of the car was freezing to the windows. So we had to make a pit stop. She can scrape your window. Things are getting really serious on the moose lookout side of things. We got to have our visibility, otherwise we're never going to see any moose. So I got to do the same. You ready, dudes?
Man, look at this.
After a good amount of driving, we finally got to a place that makes a good breakfast. Here we are. Let's get some food. Not better? Puffins like so. Place on the way back. Alright, we're back on the road, back headed to town. So you've got a yummy breakfast, and now we're headed into town for supplies. number's that?
8.
All right, we're up to 8 moose sightings. Doing pretty good. We're looking like we can reach this 15. The first stop I needed to make was to an O'Reilly Auto Parts store. This super cold weather has been really hard on our generator, and so I needed to get some supplies to clean it, service it, and maintain it, so I could keep it running through this super cold.
That guy with a straight copper wire, which I could do.
The auto parts store was a quick stop. The next one, Three Bears, our grocery shopping, that was going to be a huge stop. Food is notoriously expensive in Alaska, but shopping in the small stores closer to where we live is very expensive. Here in a bigger town with an actual grocery store, you can look for good deals and get some good prices. I'm going to share all the individual prices of everything we got just to compare and see what it's like for those of you around the country and around the world. And stay tuned to the end. I'll share what the total supply run cost us for groceries, construction supplies, and auto parts.
3. That's a good looking one. And good. Gentle.
Let's make a pineapple.
Alaska grown carrots. Okay, let's do 1, 2. And then you can start tying them for me. Give them a twist. Then make a loop and pull it through. Okay? $2.49 a pound for cabbage. 6 pounds of cabbage.
So far, living in Alaska, we have found it's really important to have a chest freezer and look for sales on meat.
Drumsticks, pork chops, and baby back ribs.
If you're going to buy meat, you can find some really good sales, put it in your deep freezer, and stock up.
Assorted pork chops.
If you're not waiting for sales and you're buying meat as you need it, you can get stuck paying a lot more money.
These are the drumsticks, Kirkland drumsticks. 13, what are they? $1.39 a pound. Let's throw that in there. Baby back ribs, $3.29 a pound. Look at that. Let's roll. Sweet cream, $4.99. Eggs, milk, butter. Where are the eggs? Have you guys seen eggs? Mozzarella, cheddar. 22. 5 pound. 5 pound. Oh, we got butter.
As a big family, another way that we save a lot of money is just buying in bulk.
$19.99 for a loaf of mozzarella. That's cool. Look at that, guys. That is a brick of mozzarella.
Today, a couple of the big bulk purchases we made, a giant loaf of mozzarella and 5 dozen eggs.
5 dozen. Let's do the 5 dozen right here. Kirkland eggs. $10.29 for Kirkland.
So cool.
Let's see if we're on sale. Whoa, guys, we're gonna need to try this. Strawberry milk. Well, I'm thinking that's our little.
There are not a lot of commercial dairies in Alaska. As far as I know, there is just one operational commercial dairy. When I saw you could buy its products in this grocery store, we jumped at the chance to support an Alaska dairy and get some good quality dairy products while we're at it.
That'll be our little treat. For Alaska plain yogurt. Okay. Let's put that there.
Look up.
Okay, look for pasta.
It's the thing that showed on the movie.
69. Sauce, garlic and herb, traditional. Make me room for. But remember, that soda goes bad quick, so let's do it. Oh yeah. We like the Juanitos, 2 for $8.
I said to get Nutella.
I mean, you save a lot getting the double. 12, 24.
These.
Pick the ones you like.
Apricot.
Okay.
Let's get apricot.
Strawberry, grab one of those.
Which is really hard here when it comes to it. It's $3. I think it's. Look straight.
Gremlins. It's a gremlin.
Don't eat before midnight. No water.
That's
no
right.
sun.
That's right.
Yeah, I've seen how this turns out. We decided to pass on the gremlin.
What do we do? What do they call it?
Semi-sweet. Okay, so we need angel hair, egg noodle, and rigatoni. $2.49. Let's see if there's anything. Angel hair, $2.79. Let's do this one. Okay. Right, $2.79. Here's butter beans. Put those in. $49, that guy. Throw it in the cart. All right. Watch your feet. For what drink? Okay. One's a big Kirkland.
Is this ginger ale?
Or if they don't have cans, you can get the small bottle. Oh, 43. Bread. Did you guys find bread? Let's get Spindrift. Bread, canned beets. Yep, grab a couple things of bread. 2's good. We won't go through that many, just 2. 2 cans of beets. Let's do just regular sliced beets. We got our veggies, we got our meat, we got eggs, milk, butter, heavy cream, yogurt, mozzarella, cheeses, mango chunks, pasta. We got everything on that page.
One of the things I love about Alaska, every grocery store has like a hunting, fishing, and camping section. So you can always pick up your bread, your milk, and your moose processing equipment while you're out.
Yep.
Well, it took about 2 hours, but we finally got all the supplies that we needed, and it was time to check out. Stay tuned, I'll share with you how much the grocery haul cost us after we do our final stop.
All right, we're gonna try to load this, try to pack it in there, okay? And all the seats that we're not sitting on.
Up front?
Oh, we're not gonna have them for now, but bring everything you can as far as you can forward.
Alright, that should be good.
All right, I'm closing the door on you. Okay, well that was a big grocery run for us.
And now it's time to go to the Home Depot. We've been working on an addition on our cabin, and we're almost buttoned up with all the work on the addition. We do have a few more things we needed, including this door for our Arctic entry. You definitely can save some money on your construction supplies if you can buy them in a bigger town or city and at a big box store compared to buying them closer to home.
Rods.
The fastest thing in the game.
28 to 48. Did we lose our cart? Where did I put that cart? There we go. It's over here. Thought we lost our cart. Oh man, Home Depot. You can lose entire days in this place. Okay. After losing almost an entire day in Home Depot, we finished up, checked out, and headed to the van. Our shopping for the day was just about finished. All right, we did it. We got everything, almost everything on our list. A couple things they didn't have at the stores, but that's pretty typical for Alaska. So here's an update to Operation Moose sighting today. We've actually seen 11 moose, and then a dead one, so that's a half point. Then eagles count as 1 point. If you get 10 eagles, that's a moose. So we got our full moose point with the eagles and the dead moose, and another. Actually, we saw 10. We saw 10 moose, so our current moose point. Saw 10 actual live moose walking around. We have to see 3 more moose on this drive home. The sun is going down. We're gonna see if we can see 3 more moose. What's that? That's number 13. 2 to go. That was number 13. 2 to go.
That was another one. That's 14.
That's 14. And I saw that one.
I saw it too.
I did too.
Yep, that was a good one.
Moose! Moose!
You just cost me a lot of money. I want you to know that. Who's gonna pay for this ice cream? And if they're not open or whatever, then we can today. So what could we do? We use a few different power sources at our off-grid homestead: solar power, propane, and gasoline. Anytime we come out for supplies, I try to pick up some gasoline so we can keep our generator running during this darker time of year. Now, although we had done a ton of shopping today, you'd think we'd be all done, there was still one more important stop to make: ice cream. We would have liked to get ice cream at some sort of ice cream parlor, but by the time we'd seen our 15 moose, we were getting further and further out into the less populated areas of Alaska, closer to where we live, and there was just nowhere to go get ice cream. So, went to a little general store and paid a fortune for ice cream.
I got you.
But, let's be honest,
Got it?
it's always worth it if
Those
it's
are
ice
gonna
cream.
go.
Seen more moose than... Alright, so our supply run. We got construction supplies, we got groceries, we got maintenance and mechanical equipment, we got mechanical supplies, and, of course, ice cream. What was the damage? Well, we're gonna get to that at the end of this video. We're gonna total everything up. But our supply run, it's only half done. You see, when we need supplies for this cabin, it takes more than just a trip to the grocery store. We're off the utilities grid, so we need a lot of fuels and a lot of things to keep the lights on at the cabin. So the next part of the supply run is fuel day. And although we were planning to go out and get a few different types of fuel, we had an unexpected problem pop up, and that added one more huge expense to our supply run. Good morning. Day 2 of our supply run. This is how we have to do it out here. We have like the grocery needs that we need to get, the dry goods, but there's still more that we need to make sure that we're prepared for incoming bad weather. Today, the second half of our supply run, we're going to be working on getting propane, and we're going to be working on getting firewood because our firewood stash is getting pretty low. And although we could cut some firewood from our property, we need dry seasoned firewood, which we had a lot of firewood. We weren't sure what we were going to go through this year. We went through more than we were thinking, so we're going to go get some today. All right, well, good. Living off the grid, there's no garbage pickup where we live. If we're headed to a town with a dump, we make sure to gather up all the garbage and take it with us so we can get rid of it while we're in town. This is one of the funny things about being off-grid, I think. We've been off-grid now for 9 months, and the way our cabin is, we're still very dependent on outside sources to keep our off-grid cabin going. I think for a lot of people, if you live full-time off-grid and you want any sort of modern life where you have running water and you have some electricity and that sort of thing, it's still very hard to be very independent from the grid. Some people turn on a switch and the electricity from the grid comes to their cabin. Us, we go into town and pick up refined fuels that we then bring back to our cabin to burn, to give us electricity and to give us other sort of things. So the quest for being totally independent of the grid. In 14 years of homesteading and interviewing people and seeing different homesteads, I've yet to see somebody totally independent from the grid in all ways. Why wouldn't it? What ideas do you have for Okay, now we are headed to the place I'm buying some firewood from. They have a trailer, and they said I can borrow the trailer. That'll be awesome if the trailer fits on my vehicle. Okay, so a little bit of a change of plans. I went to get that trailer, and I looked at the ratings, and the trailer is actually too heavy for me to pull with the firewood in it with this vehicle, which isn't out of the ordinary. This vehicle doesn't tow that much. So I talked to them, and the guy that I'm buying the firewood from is willing to deliver it. So that takes care of our firewood issue for now. It is getting warmer, and winter's coming to an end, but you know, we can still have some cold spring days here in Alaska. So I got to make sure I got some firewood put up. We are not done for the day because we still have to get propane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the cabin, get my propane tanks and my propane rig set up, and we're going to go out this afternoon and go get propane. And then we'll have our gasoline, our propane, our wood. We'll have all the fuel that we need for our electricity and for warmth and everything. And the winter weather can come and the cold winds can blow and we'll be all set. So. Wrench. We have this cargo carrier, which we want to use to take gasoline and propane from the nearest town back to our homestead. However, the propane tanks are very tall and can be tipsy, so I needed to build some kind of custom platform that I could strap the propane tanks down to the cargo carrier with. Go. So you should be in the middle. Right in the middle? Good. Do it. Zombie assassination. We try to attempt to defeat that horse.
This seems a little over.
That looks real good.
There we go.
Lift it up. Here we go. one's bigger, so we're gonna center it. So let's go. Okay. Good job. Make it real nice. This is something I did not ever expect could happen. Never thought about this. Never seen anything like it until I came to Alaska. Our firewood is frozen to the ground. Not something that ever happened to us living on the East Coast. We get cold winters and stuff, but this like freezing solid to the ground, this is different. So I still have firewood, but I gotta come out and break it free every day, which is, yes, a bummer. So we got some new firewood coming, and next year we will know to mount our firewood up high. Go off grid, they said. It'll be fun, they said. I don't think anyone said that. There we go. All right. I've broken enough firewood free for the day.
With my firewood delivered, I was ready to go to town and finish filling up our propane and be done with our supply run. Or so I thought. But then we had an unexpected big problem surface. Our generator, which we've been running off of for 9 months, has been acting funny for the last couple weeks. That's one of the reasons I went to town and bought some supplies from the auto parts store. Unfortunately, all these supplies wouldn't be enough. It turns out the carburetor on my generator is shot. I need to order a new carburetor. Because we live in the wilds of Alaska, you can't just go and pick up a carburetor for your generator. It's something you have to order, and it'll take a week and a half or so to arrive. So in addition to getting propane, I needed to go out and get a second generator. I have been meaning to have a second generator for the Homestead for a long time. I wasn't planning on getting one right now. There's been a lot of expenses with the construction project, but the carburetor going bad on our generator has forced my hand, so it's time to go and get a backup generator for the Homestead.
Might need help with the big tank, but
So here she is, the backup second generator. I decided to go with a Honda because I've heard really good things about Honda generators. I've heard they're very, very reliable. And I got this small 220 model because it's a suitcase model. It's my backup generator. In these really cold days when my big generator doesn't want to work right, I can use the backup generator and it will be warm and ready to go. The downside of using this small suitcase version of a generator is it won't be able to charge up our battery banks or run as much as we want to run in the cabin as our big generator, so we'll have to reduce our use. Fortunately, spring is coming, and with every day we're getting more and more sunlight, which means our solar system is giving us more power. And this big solar system, which I still haven't had a chance to hook up to the cabin, will soon be hooked up, and at that point we probably won't need the generator except for on really rainy, cloudy days. I thought our stocking up for the Homestead was complete, but something arrived sooner than I expected in the mail, And that meant I had one more excursion into town to finish this multi-day supply run. We've been in a real cold trend lately. It is currently 0 degrees out, and yeah, we got like high winds and stuff going on this week. Not ideal. It's been so cold lately. My big generator, it gets just so cold at night. It gets too cold to run. It just wasn't working right. So I actually had to get this little Honda. The most important thing is it's small enough that I can pick it up like a suitcase and bring it inside every day, which allows it to warm up, dry out. I have to take out this air filter every night and pull this little fuel hose out just to drain it, get it working. Now, with it all dried and drained, I can bring it out to the generator shed and fire it up and charge stuff. It's a lot smaller than my other generator for power, but it's the only one I can carry, so easily.
This is a new generator, and nowadays they want you to change the oil in the new generators relatively quickly. We're, 20 hours of running and they want this oil changed. So we're going to do our first oil change right now. We've ran it for a couple days. We're going to do the oil change now, put some new oil in it, and then we'll be able to run this for a long time without doing another change. I just got to get the first one over with. I need something to pour my oil into. I need a little oil pan. All right. These generators are so small, it's impossible to get a drip pan under them. So I find it helps to just take like a milk jug and cut it so I can get the oil out of the milk jug. And then I can dispose of it later. Need to catch it. Hopefully that'll work. All right, that should do. Let's go. All right, we're gonna just catch just like that. This should be super easy to do. I forgot, one tip I've learned is let the engine run for a couple minutes to get the oil heated up before you drain it. That way you can empty a lot of oil. It's not too viscous. So we're gonna fire it up real quick. And it is really cold today. It is like headache cold. You come outside without a hat and you get a headache. Don't love it. Go. Leave it pop. That's good. All right, now let's run it for a minute or two. Oh yeah, okay. It's already coming out. There we go. Honestly, that oil looks pretty bad. So, glad we did it. Yeah. Gonna take a sip of that. All right, well, we're gonna put the new oil in. find my funnel this morning. Let's see if I need it. I'm gonna need it, but oh, yep, definitely gonna need it. Okay, so they make a fancy little funnel for filling this thing. Now I'm wishing I bought it. It's like, I don't need that fancy funnel, but I kind of need that fancy funnel. Hey, look at that, first try. It's not fancy, but it is a funnel.
That. No food.
Well, this used to be a funnel that we used in the kitchen, but now when we moved here, I didn't have a funnel for any of this stuff. So I borrowed this one, and we don't want like gasoline and milk mixing, so we put a little warning on there. Oh, vey. Boy, how do you get that? All right, let's see. Yeah, that's still not enough. How much is in this? This is looking pretty full, because when you tip it back, yeah, they pretty much want it where it's exiting out of the filling. Cap back on, and our first oil change is done. I am really babying this thing because my last one died in 9 months. It didn't die completely, it's the carburetor, and actually the carburetor is in. So we're gonna get this fired up for the day, get this running, and then we can get on to getting the big one fixed. Good. Okay, she's ready. All right, let's go fire her up, and oh yeah. Okay, so today, what we got to do, we're going to get this baby fired up, and we're going to get this baby fixed. Ramp. So this, actually good news, we got our carburetor in a lot sooner than we expected, and we can get that thing up and running again. And while we're waiting on that, we'll fire this up and run this for the day. Okay. On. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna take this, get fixed, and then we'll have not one but 2 working generators, which is a nice thing to have if you're off the grid. They asked me to pull around back for this part. It shouldn't be a big part, so I'm hoping the right part is here. We'll see. We'll back up to the dock and take a look. See if we got the right thing. Okay. That looks right. I think we got it. I'm gonna pull off up here and take a peek in the box, make sure that's the carburetor, and then I'm gonna go and get this carburetor put in this generator. It is something that I do not know how to do, repair a whole carburetor, and something as important as my generator, I don't want to learn. The guy's putting it in, I think it's 60 bucks, so it was like, you know what, I'll let somebody who knows what they're doing do it and not ruin my carburetor. So let's make sure we got the right thing, and then we'll head out and get it fixed. Carburetor. Now I can go get that fixed and hopefully be back in business.
One of the coolest things about Alaska is its microclimates. The state is so big, as you travel from place to place, you can travel through 3 seasons in just one long drive. Where I'm at, there's still 2 feet of snow on the ground. But where my repair guy lives, driving through his area, It looked like spring was just around the corner. Well, that is awesome. I got the generator fixed. We've been running off that little generator for the last week, and it's a good backup. It's little and it's hard to keep up with all our needs with such a small generator. So to have my big generator back up and running is amazing. It's awesome. So now I can make the long drive back home and maybe at this point be completely stocked up and ready for whatever this last winter hurrah has to throw at us. This is the one thing, man, when you're driving in Alaska doing errands and stuff, and then you get to look out and you see mountain ranges. Like, it's hard to be grumpy. It's harder to get everything done in Alaska. Everything costs more, but you're driving down the road past mountain range like that, and it reminds you just like, you know what? It's worth it for all the heartache to be in this amazing place. But the fun part is just like, 50 miles to empty. Yikes, that's not the fun part. I gotta get some gas. I'm out in the middle of nowhere right now. The fun part is just like the different country you get to see and the places you get to see. Just driving around today, the absolute gorgeous views that I've gotten to see. Okay, we made it. Made it to the gas station. All right, let's play Guess the Damage. How much is it gonna be to fill up today? I'm thinking we're gonna top $100. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Ooh, just short, almost. 94, good as 100. All right, let's get home while I still have a couple dollars left. I am scared to see what the end of this video looks like. The total of these couple supply runs. Painful. Oh man, painful. What a week. Over the last week, we have driven all around the state, gotten a ton of supplies and specialized work done. Over these 3 different days of supply runs and maintenance work, what was the damage? Let's go through each stop, cover the costs. Our construction supplies at Home Depot totaled up to $825, and we also picked up a few more construction supplies at another builder store, which was $320. Our grocery haul was $543. Not the biggest one we've done, but still, that's a lot of food. I spent $28 at the auto parts store for supplies for my generator to try to keep it running. That didn't work, so I had to order a carburetor. And then I paid $110 for the generator to be serviced, cleaned, and put the new carburetor in. The replacement carburetor was $32. I spent $79.92 on gasoline. That was 3 different 6-gallon tanks that I filled up over the time that I was in and out of towns. Propane was a big one this week. I spent $147 filling up my 2 big propane tanks. That'll last us about half a month's worth of propane. The new generator. Fortunately, I was able to catch a sale with the shop that was selling Hondas. It was on sale for $9.99, and with taxes, it came to $1,059.58. More money than I wanted to spend this week. I've already spent enough, but it's good to have the backup generator. I'm a big believer in 2 is 1 and 1 is none, and as we saw this week, 1 was none. Now we have 2 and they're both working, so that's fantastic. We also had our firewood delivery, which the firewood and the delivery combined totaled up to $480. And last but not least, I can't forget the ice cream stop because of our moose contest. Yeah, we spent $48 getting hot fudge sundae supplies. That's why I try to buy that stuff at the bigger stores in the bigger cities. If only the moose had cooperated, that wouldn't have hurt so bad.
You just cost me a lot of money.
So the painful grand total of this multi-day supply run, maintenance, stock up, $3,767.13, not including coffees, snacks, and any other miscellaneous items I may have forgotten. Ouch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this right here. For even just $1 a month, you can watch all our videos completely commercial free over on Patreon. Thanks. We really, really appreciate it.